And now, more with Social Women, with your hosts, Pat Cruz, Amy Diaz, and Bronwyn Dannenfelser.
Anti-bullying advocate, Diana Lozowski.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm in very good company.
Diana, you know, Pat and I and Bronwyn have been talking about, obviously, there's been a lot going on with bullying, and Pat actually has a quick story to tell.
I do. I have a quick story. So, this is, we had to have you come in this week. I received a message on my Facebook, a direct message from someone who actually wrote in and said, you know what, we're not friends, but I follow you on Facebook and you have a lot of connections, you know a lot of people. I have a problem. My nephew is being bullied. And, I'm going by memory here. So, and I don't have the message anymore. For some reason, it's been deleted. So I have no way of getting in touch with her, and that kills me. Okay. And hopefully they'll be able to listen to this. And, if not just her, any other parent or relative or friend.
Or child that's
listening.
Right.
That knows someone or hears about someone say, I'm being bullied at school. I can't take it anymore. I want to kill myself. I don't want to live anymore. And it really hit me. Yeah. My kids are 17, 14, and 12. And that age is, you think it's difficult when they're younger, but as they're older, believe me, it's more difficult.
Absolutely.
Because you have so many other components that are not really as much in your control as it used to be when they were younger.
Right.
So, this woman messaged me and said, I really don't know what to do about it. Can you help? So please tell us and tell the listeners, what can we do if we hear a child say something like this? Where do we go?
Well, let's start if you're the parent. If you're the parent, you need to, I hate to say reduce what they're saying, but sit on the floor, get their story. Look, listen, and act. You have to act. You have to take it serious. And you have to make the call the next day with a pen and a paper in your hand. Call the principal, guidance counselor. Tell them what is going on. Tell them the name or names of the other students involved. And you have to document. And if you don't hear anything acceptable that is going to happen, if they don't put a plan into action, and you have an answer the following day, you get in your car and you drive there. First and foremost, you have to protect your child. If it means not sending them to school, then it means not sending them to school that day and then getting in your car. But it is all about action and getting the story from your friend's child, from your child, and you have to document. And you have to call the school and tell them what's going on, get the name of the person, like I said, and you have to tell them that now you are holding them accountable.
Because they may not even know.
Chances are they don't know.
Well, actually, that's almost what I wanted to say really quick. Let's just back up a little bit. What is it that we know about bullying, and what different types of bullying are there? Because I know that there's more than just...
Right. Or more importantly, let's hear your story first, because I think that's a tremendous lead-in to why you're doing this.
Okay. Well, my daughter went from public school in Cranston to a public school in Warwick. She didn't experience any bullying in the Cranston school system, but when she had gone to Warwick with a whole different bunch of kids that have all kind of gone through the system together and in the same school together, she started to get bullied. She was a tall girl, and they found that to pick on, and it became relentless to the point where her grades began to get worse. She was an A and B student. She went to a C and D student. And the change, she became a little more isolated when she came home, but aggressive towards me, especially when she first came in. She was mad, and it was because of what was happening in school. She didn't want to go to school. She always was sick, which she really wasn't sick. Well, she was sick because of what she was feeling inside. And she had gone to my niece and finally had told my niece what had been going on for a good year and a half, and that she was starting to feel hopeless. And through great family support and demanding that school administrators and teachers get involved, she was able to pull through it. And because because us as a family were not able to get the help immediately, I decided to start the Free Your Mind Foundation and be able to help other kids and provide an outlet for them if this is going on, as well as for parents.
So basically, this organization, if a child is having an issue or a parent knows their child is having an issue, they can contact you.
Absolutely.
Is that how it works?
Absolutely.
And you will help them with the school and
Yes.
whatever other,
Yes.
going to the parents. Or
We will step in if nothing is being done, but it is up to the parent. I do get some calls, and then they never call me back. So you have to be serious. Call us, tell us what's going on, and we will intervene. And we want to keep a good communication with the schools, so we want to be friendly with them. We don't want to burn a bridge, but in the same token, when it comes down to it, I will go to every resource that I have to make the school teacher, administrator accountable.
So I've got a question here. There's a lot of shame, I would imagine, when you're being, especially when you're a teenager or
Right.
even a little kid, when you're being bullied, that you might not want to bring it up to your parents, and that's why it stays hidden for so long.
Exactly.
How do you create a conversation, or how do you create an atmosphere of, openness, where your child can feel like it's okay to come to you and reduce that wall of shame? Or is it something you say, honey, if you ever find somebody talks to you the wrong way at school, come talk to me? Or what is that?
Use third-party stories. Tell them, even if you use third-party stories and create that story for them, maybe about another child and what they've gone through, and what do you think about what they're going through, and what would you say to them, and then just say, have you ever experienced this? What is going on in school? It's not okay. And you have to have a good relationship with your child. Turn your cell phones off.
Yeah.
Turn your computer off, even for half an hour. And you have to set an example as well, because bullies are children of parents, and it starts there when you're driving in your car. Sometimes we've all, probably everybody in this room, have had a bad day, and you're waiting for that first person to tick you off so that you can lay into them, or the first person to cut you off. And chances are your child is in the car, and you say some words that aren't exactly nice. And it really starts with little things when your child is smaller.
It's interesting, too. I think that the majority, from what I see, so myself having 3 kids, I really don't think that a lot of the kids that are doing the bullying actually believe that they are bullying.
Right.
I don't think that they're saying, oh, well, we're going to bully this kid, or I think they're just picking on them, or, making fun of them, and they don't realize, how serious it is, and how the kids who are, the ones that are taking the bullying, what they're feeling inside, and sometimes it can be very drastic.
Yes. So I think it's teach your children to be nice, because even in the workplace, I may come in here. Let's say I work here, and the 3 of you are maybe throwing little digs or doing things to irritate me or exclude me. And I may have a thick skin, but sometimes what's going on behind the curtain, what's going on in my private life, makes it worse. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what's happening in the home with
Right.
these children that really get depressed and feel hopeless and suicidal. Words like you're fat, you're ugly, you're this, mean words. Some people can just brush them off, but when you have something maybe going on at home that makes it so much worse, that's why these kids are turning to suicide.
We have kids out there who are bullying, who may not even know they're bullying. Kids
Right.
are being bullied,
Mhm.
and somehow, some way, these kids are reaching out for help. So, we need to pay attention to the signs.
Absolutely.
I think a little bit. So, what else can you tell us about what's going on with some of the kids and how we can help?
Yeah, actually, one of our Ustream listeners and viewers has stated every parent should talk to their child and listen to them and what they are doing. Be involved in their life. how can, with nowadays children are, or at least I think so from what I see around some of the friends that I have, teenagers, they don't really want to be very attached to their parents. They're attached to Facebook and other friends. So how can a parent really be involved in a kid's life?
Hack into that Facebook. Trust me, it works. You really have to be involved. Just set a half an hour a day. Talk about anything. Start the conversation. If you don't have that type of a relationship, ask what's going on. And it's not just girls, it's boys too.
Actually, I was going to ask what is the difference between the experience with girls being bullied and boys being bullied?
What we have found are a couple of things, is that just like girls, boys have a lot of pressure on them to do well, to be overachievers, to get into sports. A lot of kids have a huge workload at school. They're expected to go home, do your homework, be a good person, follow the rules, and sometimes it's a lot. Parents have to really sit across from your child like we're just talking. Make it casual. It's okay, just tell me what's going on if there is something going on. And like I said, third-party stories are really, really great to have your child open up to you.
How about just bringing up current events? I mean, bringing up everything that's happening with the basketball coaches and football coaches, and then what's happened just recently. You were talking about a girl from Johnston.
Yes.
Talk about those things and bring them up. Maybe that will bring up some clues as to how they respond.
Absolutely. Start that line of communication.
And bringing up, and we don't want to target anyone in particular, but there are obviously signs for these kids that they're having a problem.
Yes.
And they don't know where to go.
Exactly.
They don't know who to talk to, and don't know, who's going to make fun of them if they say anything. They're embarrassed and probably don't want to say anything to parents or friends, but someone knows. So it's important that even, for me, I would tell my kids, if you hear about anything with other children, they should speak up as well. So not only if it's happening to them, but if they hear about anybody having a hard time at school, they really should bring it to the attention of an adult.
Yes.
So that adult could, maybe look into that a little bit with a parent and say, hey, by the way, I heard, your daughter or son maybe having a little problem at school. You may want to check into it. They may be embarrassed to say something to you, but, it may not be as easy for the child to come to the parent. But
they can log on to freeyourmindri.com. That is our website. It is informational, as well as there is, I think it's page 3 or 4. They can put their name, or they can be anonymous.
I think that's important for kids. Be anonymous.
Yes, they can be anonymous. Tell me what's going on, or a parent can log on for advice. It goes right to my cell phone. We're available 24 hours a day, and they can reach out to us even if you just want to talk. Don't tell me who you are. If you need advice, if you need resources, Gateway is a great place for help for students, as well as Butler Hospital, if that is needed. But if you just want to be pointed in the right direction, you can always log on to our website.
How about bullying past school? I mean, I see people get bullied, as you said, in the workplace.
One of our listeners and viewers right now on Ustream has said it doesn't end at school. Bullying goes on to buses, bus stops, cell phones, internet, and way worse.
That's right.
School buses are huge.
Yeah.
Going to your locker is huge.
Because there's no one there to visually see what's going on, and they think they can get away with it a little more. So I would guess bus stops and walking back and forth to school is very big.
And you know what, Pat, to kind of piggyback on what you were just saying a little bit ago, for me, I feel like one of the reasons why some kids may be a little hesitant is because they don't want to feel like they're being tattletales.
Right.
So how do adults, once a child shares something like that with them, how do adults proceed to be a little cautious, where it's like, okay, yes, we need to make sure that who is doing the bullying, but where the bully doesn't know who that child is, because it may be that
would make it worse.
Yeah, it'd make it worse, but the bully may be bullying more than just that one child. Yeah. So would focus groups or even, I'm not really sure how the world of school is anymore, if there's parent-teacher conferences or anything like that where parents can actually talk to teachers and see what the environment is like.
Well, let's put it this way. I did a PowerPoint for a middle school last year with 600 parents invited, and I think 4 families showed up.
Really?
So yes,
Wow.
yeah. But I think it depends on the level of bullying. If you feel as though there's a real safety issue, it doesn't matter. You know, you have to get involved and you have to act immediately.
Is there a way that I know we're just about out of time here, but is there a way that we could, you know, get flyers out to all the schools just to say that this foundation is available to them?
Absolutely.
That
Okay,
might
great.
I will
be a
do
good
that and
idea.
have that for you guys.
but we-
Diana,
yeah.
Before we say bye, I know that you also have a show on Thursdays that
Yes.
comes out of Media Appeal. Why don't you share a little bit of that information with our listeners and let us know what your website is one more time.
Okay, it's The Platform with Alexa Ray. It's a show for teens, focusing on teen issues like bullying, teen depression, teen suicide, as well as positive issues, health and wellness. freeyourmindri.com. And we will be at the Rhode Island State House tomorrow from 3 to 6 p.m. with a rally to provide more awareness on the subject.
Yes, let's get everybody out
Cool.
there. So State House tomorrow, what time
Yes,
again?
3 to 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
State House tomorrow, what time again?
3 to 5
Here we
o'clock.
go. Okay.
Thank you so much, Diana, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're listening to Social Women.